Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Running the Gauntlet. As you'll notice, we have moved on to the third and final DLC expansion, which is the Shadow of Doom. And these gauntlets actually back down a little bit in their intensity right off the bat, but they are going to get pretty crazy. So make sure you're subscribed, as we will be walking through these gauntlets as we've done for all of the ones that we've looked up to this point. And today we are starting, of course, with the level 90, the Noblest of Souls Gauntlet run. This is pretty straightforward. There are 3 segments that you need to be aware of, so we're going to walk through what the 3 sections look like, and then the clear rewards that you can expect when mastering and fully completing this gauntlet itself. So this first section is actually going to be pretty identical to the first area that we have within the gauntlet itself, or not the gauntlet, but the story quest that's made available with the Shadow of Doom. And this contains a fight against the Dora Milaje of Wakanda, and then we later have Storm and Black Panther who come in to the fight as well. And we need to defeat all enemies, which is for a grand total of 30, the majority being the Dora Milaje. Now, you saw right off the bat there with Thanos Infinite, I did go ahead and leave the health and energy replenish orb from Thanos in the middle of the room. That drew in a lot of the Dora Milaje and allowed us to take a lot of them out in a pretty fell swoop. It is important to note, and I believe that I've mentioned this before, but again, it is important to remember that that ability does not affect any of the boss or mini-boss characters. So Storm and Black Panther are immune to this. You'll also notice that I'm taking some time to take out the different danger room hazards that spawn in here, and that is because it's important to one of the clear conditions, which we will talk about as we get into the clear conditions here in just a few minutes. But I do unleash a couple of extreme attacks there, and it's fine to unleash those extreme attacks in this fight, mainly because the next section or the next leg of this gauntlet is going to be less useful when it comes to the extreme attacks. So allowing them to recharge at the end of this gauntlet and throughout the next one is going to be just fine in terms of what you can expect. The second phase here is going to take us to Shadowland, and the quirk with this fight is that there is increased ability damage and reduced damage of every other type, but you also regain the energy points at an accelerated rate if you are using those. Now, the danger room hazards here are really quite annoying, and it's because the majority of them do tend to be these gravity type ability orbs, and they are of the more potent ones that we can deal with. And we'll want to use a couple of our abilities in order to take that out. I am sliding past a lot of the enemies that pop in because a lot of them are avoidable or optional when it comes to the overall fight here. There is this ring that sends out an electric pulse. It looks more to be a fire pulse, but it is indeed an electric pulse here. And with a couple more synergy attacks, we have that one taken down as well. This hallway is clear from the little traps that spring from the walls, so you don't need to worry about that. And then around this corner, it does pick back up again, and we have another one of these gravity orbs that we'll need to take down as well. Again, you don't absolutely need to when it comes to the overall efficiency of clearing out this gauntlet, but you will want to pause and take them down because of additional clear conditions that we'll look at again once we are through these 3 segments and what you can expect from them. But just like that, we have them taken out so we can progress into this final room here. This is a room that seals itself off even in the main story quest, and it does the same thing here where we are confronted by Venom and Spider-Man. No other grunts, no one else we need to be aware of in this room here as we fight against them. And this is pretty easy when you have different members of your team that you can unleash different extreme attack, or not extreme, but ability attacks against them and really lay into them to make sure that we can take these opponents down. And just like that, you see that we've got Venom taken out and Spider-Man is close to follow. Venom has a larger health pool, so it is going to take a little bit longer to take him down, but you will be able to do so. It's kind of sad that there are sections where Thanos Infinite is utterly useless, but it does help to balance him out a little bit when it comes to some of these other missions. Now, the third and final leg of this gauntlet is going to involve some fights against 3 different characters, and they do spawn in alternates of themselves throughout this this fight. And they are mini-boss characters, but it's a nice little showcase of what the alternate costumes available for these characters are. And you'll see that the first one, of course, is Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, more specifically, with her Miss Marvel alternate costumes appearing about here. So that's a really fun little detail. And the alternates will continue to spawn in until you have the main character taken down. And that is the same for the 2 boss characters that follow here as well. So let's get Captain Marvel taken down here with a couple of our heavy attacks there from Thanos Infinite. And we will then transition into the next phase of this fight. Now, you don't have to do what I'm about to do here, but it will get you through this combat section a lot faster. So we have Black Widow and the Black Widow alternates here. So we do go ahead and unleash all of our extreme attacks because we can. And that is easily going to take Black Widow out within, what, 10 seconds maybe of her spawning in, which makes things pretty easy in terms of transitioning to the third and final boss, which is going to take place on the Hell landscape. It follows the same progression that you see when you first encounter the Danger Room in the main story quest. The difference here is that we will be confronting Wasp, and then the different alternates of Wasp that come in here as well. But Wasp, though she does pack a punch, she also suffers from the glass cannon syndrome, so you can expect to take her out relatively quick, especially when compared to the previous 2 bosses that appear in this final section of that gauntlet. Now, we've talked about the 3 different sections that you will need to be aware of and what to expect and how to take them down, but we do need to take a moment and touch on the clear conditions here. And while we do that, I am going to go ahead and let my subsequent runs of this gauntlet play out here in the background, and they are distinctly different from the ones that we've seen before. So maybe you'll see some new tactics in this footage as we watch back through it. So the first one, of course, is clearing through the gauntlet once, and that's very straightforward. You saw that we were able to get through there with no character deaths, and it's really something that you should be able to achieve on your first run easy. There's not a whole lot of pre-reading you need to do into this. The second clear condition is earning a score of 160,000 points. That can be obtained in one run of the gauntlet, and if for whatever reason you don't get it in one run, you can just run the gauntlet multiple times until you meet that condition there. The third clear condition we need to touch on, of course, is getting a win streak of 5. And that is easy enough. You won't be able to get it the first time you run a gauntlet because, as a reminder, when you initially run your gauntlets, you will have to clear them out once before you are able to play them back on repeat. But that is for a total of 1 2/3 of a run. But the last clear condition is actually one you'll need to run the gauntlets a couple of times for, because you need to destroy 18 or more hazard devices. And you get 4 in this first section that's playing in the background here. There are those lightning hazards that go around in the 4 different corners of this hallway. And then in the second section, there are 3, and you saw those showcased in our previous section as well. The 2 gravity ones, and then the one that has the lightning ring rather than the lightning bolts. If you run the gauntlet twice, you're going to end up with a total of 14. You will need to run it, at least this section, one more time in order to get up to your total of 18. So 2 full runs and then a start into the third run will be more than enough to get the bare minimum clear conditions here. Thanks again for watching. If you found this video helpful and or enjoyable, please feel free to give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more daily content on Marvel's Ultimate Alliance, our Let's Play series for Marvel's Avengers on PS4, Minecraft series, and plenty of other videos that will be coming your way in the future. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day.